Welcome to the Scott Howard Genuine ScLoHo Media and Marketing Podcast. This is an ongoing collection of media, marketing, and personal insights, and this is episode number 433 with the title, Exceptional or Acceptable. Over the years, we've lowered the bar in terms of customer experience expectations. 50 years ago at the grocery store, there were no self-checkout lanes. How do we get our food? Well, grocery stores had a few checkout lanes that were staffed by a cashier and a bagger and carryout person. There were no barcodes to scan, and each item needed to be entered by price manually. And it was acceptable to even write a paper check to pay for your groceries. As your food was rung up, at the end of the line was someone who bagged your groceries and put them in a special two-wheeled cart. I had that job when I was in high school. After a customer paid and I had bagged everything, I then took the cart to the customer's car and loaded the bags of groceries in their back seat or trunk. Every once in a while, a customer would thank me with a tip, but it wasn't expected to receive a tip. There is still at least one cashier available when I buy groceries today, but most people use the self-checkout lanes. While those were controversial when they first became mainstream, it's the expected and acceptable way to pay and go these days. Something else that has become expected and acceptable is using an app on our phone or kiosk at a fast food joint. I recall back in 2019, my wife and I took a trip to New York City, and the McDonald's near where we were staying used a kiosk for all of their ordering. It made sense because we had a labor shortage going on, and this piece of tech solved that by utilizing the staff that they did have to do food prep. This became expected and acceptable as the years have passed, and nowadays I order and pay for McDonald's and Starbucks about 99% of the time using the app on my phone. Now, I titled this piece Exceptional or Acceptable, not Expected and Acceptable. Let me explain. Some industries have what my parents would politely say, less than acceptable customer relationship experiences. I've noticed that one industry has that issue is home improvement. When a homeowner wants a quote for something, it's surprising how many home improvement companies don't follow up, or they make an appointment and then don't even show up. In my line of work, I have dealt with multiple companies in this industry, and before I help them promote their companies with radio advertising, I want to know how well they're going to take care of any leads that I send them through an advertising and marketing program. Just showing up and doing the job without a bunch of hassles is now the acceptable standard. If you do that, you're at least on the right track. But you're one of a bunch of others, and what is really needed is a step or two above acceptable. You need to be exceptional. Let's go back to the roof story that I was sharing with you last week. I said that nobody wants to buy a roof, but I did, and here's how that experience went. It started off as acceptable because they followed up with coming to my home on the day and time promised to give me a quote. Then they became exceptional. I was originally told it was going to be May before they could come and get the job done and get us on their schedule. And when they did the job, it would take about a day and a half. Both of those turned out to be wrong. They booked us for April 29th, not some future date in May. On April 29th, the crew started showing up before 7 a.m. when I was leaving for work, and when I drove by around 9 a.m., they were well underway. They contacted me about some additional boards that needed to be replaced, which I was told about in the original quote, and I approved the extra $260. They were done by 1 p.m. the same day. Not only did they get it done sooner than originally promised, it was faster too. I saw that they covered the landscaping as they worked, and as a result of this exceptional experience, they got a 5-star Google review from me too. We were very pleased with the quoting process, the scheduling, and the actual work that was done. We had lost a few shingles during the spring storms and had decided to replace our roof this year. We were pleasantly surprised that they were able to get our roof done sooner than originally projected. The crew showed up on time, and they were excellent at keeping us informed. They protected the landscaping and were completely done by 1 p.m. That's what I wrote in the review. The company responded to the review too, and I've referred them to others already. Bottom line is you have to be at least acceptable, but the real payoff for everyone is when you create exceptional customer experiences. If you have any questions, answers, thoughts of nearly any kind are welcome. You can find me online at my website, scotthoward.me, and on social media. Just Google ScLoHo. That's spelled ScLoHo, and you'll probably find more of me. You can drop me a note via email too at scott@wowo.com. There's a rough transcription of this podcast online on my website, scotthoward.me. If you'd like to go back and read or check out the links I mentioned, you'll find them there, scotthoward.me.
Podcasts by Federated Media.